can you just briefly tell me your name and what you do?
I am Angelo Scirocco. I am the executive head chef of the restaurant Brugerol.
Okay, and you were also a finalist in a competition in 2015. Is that right?
Okay, so in 2015, the San Pellegrino, which rates the world's 50 best restaurants, started a junior competition for the world's young chefs. And so they opened their doors worldwide, and they opened it to Africa and the Middle East. And then I joined it, and I won Africa and Middle East. And we all went to Milan, and you cook for the world's greatest chefs.
Angelo, what I wanted to talk to you about today is Catalan cuisine. And I want to start from a place that Spanish cuisine has just so many regional varieties. And for someone who might not be that familiar, how would you describe the essence of Catalan cuisine? What's the unique characteristic about it?
Catalan cuisine it's to a certain extent Spanish, but it's Spanish food and Catalan food are so far from each other, really. I mean, first of all, in Catalan cuisine, people cook more. They use more toasty flavors. So everything has more dark, roasty, robust flavors. There's hardly ever use of acidity in their dishes. You know, you'd never see I give an example like fideuà. It's small little fine noodles cooked with sepia and a stock, but you never use a squeeze of lemon on there. For example, prawns. Like if you go to Greece, you'll have them on a grill and they'll serve it with lemon. Lemon never touches a prawn here ever. So these are the kind of things that you see. I also find a huge relation to Japanese cuisine in terms of Catalonia, because Catalonia tends to use a lot of fish that's also raw. I mean, you see raw bacalao, which is cod, salads in your esqueixada, and then you also have prawn carpaccio. So they're it's much more not gastronomic, but much more avant-garde naturally. You know, like the first time I actually was in the coastal side of the city. We ate my first day was snails and meatballs, and I was like, "What? Snails and meatballs?" Like, and my mind already just opened. I was like, you know, as a chef, we always take ingredients from different spaces and try to put them together and see if they work. But like, this is actually a traditional dish, and they've been doing it like that forever, and no one even knows about it. You know, and you don't see it in Spanish cuisine. In Spanish cuisine, well, it's different. If you are going west compared to País Vasco, where they use more fire cooking, it's all different. But also, again, in Catalonia, it's a completely different region again, you know. And it's not just about food, it's also about wine. You know, the wine style is different here as well.
So what would be like 2 or 3 really, really uniquely Catalan dishes or tapas?
Catalan dishes that I really love is, they're really, really simple, but I don't know if everyone loves them. One is capipota, which is the head of the cow and the hoof, the leg. And it's braised very, very, very long. And it's got this very strong gelatinous-y texture, which is actually, it's really, really good for you. And that's one dish. But also, again, it's very roasty kind of flavors. They use a sofrito, which is different to in Italy. They caramelize onions and add it as a base. Another one would be Mari Montagna. Mari Montagna is the ocean and the mountain. And they use it so strongly here, and people think it's just this idea of using nature. It's not. It's actual flavors, like of fish that have been has a certain technique to it that brings out a robusty, earthy flavor to it. For example, sepia. It's like a cuttlefish. If you braise it very slowly, very long, it releases its own liquid, and then as the liquid separates, it starts to caramelize. And when you bring something like meat into it, they combine, or mushrooms. So you also always see like Mari Montaña paella here, or like pollo, chicken and prawns, for example. That's really, really important here. Another thing is that I really love is calçots. I don't know if you've ever been to calçotada. It's a celebration of calçots. So what they do in January, February is they have these onions. It's an onion that is being replanted into soil, and it grows about 10 or 12. Like, they're not leeks and they're not spring onions. It's very long, very white. Got a very white long stem, and you put it on a barbecue with lots of fire. So it's the beginning of the fire, and you make it black. Like, it needs to be really black. But you put it with soil straight out of the ground. Take it out, wrap it up in newspaper inside a plastic bag, let it sit for 2 hours, 3 hours, and then steams and becomes soft. You take it out, take off the black part, and then you dip into a romesco sauce, which is like a red pepper sauce, and then you eat it like that. Lift it up and you eat it, and then you drink that with cava, and it's just a lovely celebration of the new year. I love those. Those are my 3 favorite things I could eat until I die.
Your ingredients for whatever you're doing in Brugarol, they come from those farms in Catalonia. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
But the actual farms are centuries old. Centuries. The one place we have, Las Terras, was built in the 50s. I don't have a book here now. It was built in the 15th century, and we have just restored it. What we would do there, we only grow what is necessary. So we don't abuse the land, and we don't sell to anyone else. So what we have is we have this produce, and we use it in our restaurants there and here as well. And then whatever's left over at the end of the season, we bottle it and we make marmalades and so forth. We have goat's milk, so we have goats. We make our own cheeses there. We have our own wines. We have our own espumoso, which is similar to cava. We have our own olive oil. So some people, when they come to the restaurant, they're like, okay, so somebody makes this for you, right? We're like, no, it's our brand that makes that. It's our business is built on Brugarol. We are built on that philosophy. Like, even if you look at our restaurant, nothing is touched. It's the way it is. In terms of our produce as well, like, we don't do much to our produce that we get from the farm. Like, example, the eggs never touch a fridge. Tomatoes that come from the soil never touch a fridge either. When you eat a tomato, you want to taste the sun when there's hit it. You want to eat it in its ripest form, picked at the right time. So that's the whole philosophy of Brugarol. It's also, again, extremely seasonal here in Spain. So things change very quickly from summer, spring, winter, and autumn. So it's because we also we have this huge ecological system in Brugarol. We really wanted to bring that here to Barcelona, and really feed on that. And I think it's really special that we have our own farms, and we are touching into that. It's not like we built a restaurant and then built a farm to supply the restaurant. The land's always been there. We're just taking care of that land. And we have excess amount that we bring to Barcelona. So it's so nice to share with people this heritage that no one knows. Because if you go, it's not an easy place to get to in terms of our farms, because you have to travel through the mountain into this area. And when you get to this area, just like it opens up, it looks like this unknown land. It's completely... It's so old and so ancient that only really the locals, the really strong Catalan people, know about it, and it's so nice for people to go there and see what our business is based on.
So the menu changes with the seasons, and it's what's available right now that's being served, and fresh produce. So does that affect actually what's on your menu? Do you have to change it per season, or do you kind of keep it for a while longer?
I mean, there are 3 items on the menu that we never change. The only difference is we only change like, example, we have a white truffle flan. But it changes. The only thing that changes is obviously the truffle that we use in the season, which is a local truffle. So we have it changes from white to black to winter. So it's always hard because the thing is like you always have a different flavor. Each truffle has a different flavor, but because we are so seasonally driven, we have to develop dishes 3 months before the actual product is actually comes out, because we are a very small bar. It's actually a bar, not a restaurant, and we've turned it into a gastronomic restaurant somehow, some miracle. But the thing is, like, the produce here is so good that it's almost like you don't want to do too much to it. You know, whenever we get this produce, but we have to be different. We have to be on our. The thing is, in Barcelona, it's such a tough game because you have 12,000 restaurants in Barcelona. So we always need to try to be the best. So we're always playing around with different ingredients, putting them together. But yes, you'll probably never eat at the restaurant and have the same dish or the same menu, because the menu it's already changing tomorrow. Like, now we have white asparagus coming in. We got the Maresma green peas, artichoke season now, sardines, anchovies, bluefin tuna. So it's always lovely to just go into season.
Yeah, I'm glad you're gonna enjoy that season. So what's next for you? Obviously, you've got a very successful concept with your bar and restaurant now. Are you planning to expand or focus on that one venue?
It's funny you say that, because we're actually we're actually looking for a place right now. We are in negotiation with another business. The idea is we want to really start to not just expand our business, but expand our ideas and creativity. In order to do that, we need fire. Like, we need to be able to cook, and we don't have the luxury of cooking in our small bar. Like, we can 10% of our dishes are cooked because we don't have the capacity of cooking. So I would say 90% this year we'll have a new restaurant. The idea is to the thing is, the Gothic branch is very rock and roll. We had to keep it like that because the design is a bar, but we really want to do it focus driven and do only one menu that everyone tastes, to highlight every single experience. As you come in, like, you shouldn't have anything sweet or spicy or high in umami. It should be fresh, and the menu should escalate. And in the beginning, when we started the business, we had to have an a la carte menu. It was a struggle to survive. And we've built such a high clientele that we could never ever lose our a la carte menu. But we always want to be true to our followers and always offer that to them. So we will never close the Gothic branch. But we need to go higher now, and we need to push the boundary. And we really trying to push for the Michelin star as soon as we open. That's the idea.
Amazing. Well, listen, all the best with that concept, and I'm hoping to be in Barcelona back at some point this year. So I'll look forward to trying some of your great creations, and all the best, Angelo. Yeah, all the best with that, and thanks so much for coming on the show. And it was great chatting to you. Take care.
It's a pleasure. Thank you, Mishka.